Well, hello everyone. My name is Asan Rose. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm an entertainer and filmmaker just like you guys, and my job is to give you guys tips to up your game. All right, today we're gonna be talking about the Canon 6D Mark I and why I think it's still 2019's beast budget full frame camera. Now, number one, we're gonna talk about the price, baby. It's all about the price. I bought this camera from Facebook Marketplace for $600. I looked up on Facebook Marketplace just before making this video, and they are still on there for $600 to $700. I have yet to find one for less than that, but again, for $600 to $700, you can get yourself into a full frame DSLR with interchangeable lenses. Phenomenal, phenomenal deal. Now, the second reason why I love this camera is simply the ergonomics. All the buttons are just laid out in all the right places. This ISO dial right here is phenomenal. You can just change your ISO right with that. Shutter speed is in the right spot. Everything is just built to support a photographer and built to make your life easier. And I just can't say highly enough about how this camera feels in your hand when you're out here shooting. You can pretty much do everything with one hand except for turn it on and off and change your settings up top. But everything else, you can pretty much do with one hand. But again, the ergonomics, the button layout, everything on this is phenomenal. Now, number three, just the fact that it's a full frame camera is a reason in and of itself. Full frame camera means better shallow depth of field, means you're gonna get better low light capability, you're gonna get lower noise at higher ISOs. I think this one really starts getting noise anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 ISO. Past that, it definitely does have noise, but again, in low light, that is phenomenal. That means you're gonna be able to get so much more diverse photos at nighttime, whether it be event photography, street photography, portraits, or product photography. It's gonna be a lot better in low light, simply due to the full frame nature. And that's awesome. You're also gonna have a better shallow depth of field, so you're gonna have better bokeh in the background. It's just gonna look way more cinematic. Number four, this camera has 20 megapixels, which does make it a very high resolution stills camera. 20 megapixels is plenty. If you think you need more than that, unless you're doing billboards or unless you're doing big prints, 20 megapixels is plenty. The fifth thing that I absolutely love about this camera is that it's no frills. There's no BS. You just pick it up and you go. You turn it on, boom. Everything is just there. The top screen is phenomenal. Everything is just easily read, easily laid out. Everything, the menu screen is easy to flip through. For a beginner, this camera isn't overwhelming. It doesn't overwhelm you with technology either, which is also a good thing, because nowadays I find that people are relying too much on the technology around them versus relying on your eye and relying on your brain and relying on your creativity and what you really want to get accomplished out of your photography career and essentially your creative career. So again, no frills, no BS. That is definitely one of the reasons why I love this camera. Number six reason why I love this camera is it's weather sealed, which means you can take it out into the rain, take it out into the snow, take it out into a bit of more harsh conditions, and you'll be able to get some phenomenal photos when other people aren't gonna be there. Other cameras, you're gonna be a little bit limited. You're not gonna be able to go out into those harsher conditions and still get some interesting, unique, beautiful photos. I will say some of the cons for this camera is that it is not the best at video. I'm not gonna say that the video is unusable, but the video is not the best. It doesn't have a lot of the new technological features that you would really want out of video. Peaking, it doesn't have autofocus, dual pixel autofocus. It also doesn't have a flip out screen. So it is certainly lacking in certain things in the video aspect. It does have video if you need it, and I would recommend it maybe if you're in a low light situation and you only have a crop sensor camera, or in those situations where doing manual focus doesn't matter. Because if that's what you want, I would not recommend this camera. But if you are simply a photographer, or you're simply looking for a camera to learn how to master a frame, to learn how to do stills photography, I would highly recommend this camera. Now, who is this camera for? Well, in my opinion, this camera is for the beginner who really wants to get into the full frame market, who's had a crop sensor camera, something like a Canon T3i or a T6i, T7i, any one of the Canon Rebel lineups, or one of the Canon crop sensor lineup cameras, because you're gonna get a lot better low light capability out of a camera like this than you would get out of any one of your crop sensor cameras. You're gonna definitely get some digital noise at those 800, 1600, 3200 ISOs on a crop sensor camera, whereas on something like this, you're really not gonna get much digital noise until you're around, 5,000 to 10,000 ISO, which is it obviously allows you way more benefits at nighttime or creative freedom when you're doing shots in low light. So that's definitely who I would recommend it for. The beginner who's really trying to get into the full frame market, who really wants to do more freelance work with a full frame camera. And also I would recommend it for those professionals who already have a good setup but don't have a second camera, who need a second camera. If you need a second option, or if a second shooter just to pop in there with a specific lens, maybe you have a prime on your other one but a zoom on this one, or maybe you have a zoom on the other one and a prime on this one. It just gives you the ability to, without having to spend an arm and a leg, have a backup camera to really, really get you the shot that you need. Overall, I just want to finish with this and say, this is a phenomenal camera. And I can say that anyone who buys this camera in 2019 will not be disappointed in the slightest. You're gonna love the images that you get out of it. I'll even leave you a few examples of some of the images that I've taken with this camera in low light, in different circumstances, in sunlight, just to give you a variety of shots. And again, I just wanna say thank you guys so much. You're phenomenal. Go ahead and leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe, whatever you want to do. If you really like this video, please let me know. And if you have any other cameras that you think would rival this as a budget full frame camera, please comment below. I would love to see what your guys' ideas are. I'm mostly a Canon shooter, so if you have any other Sony full frame cameras or Nikon full frame, whatever you think is a great budget full frame camera to rival this Canon 6D, I would love to hear it in the comments below. So again, my name is Ace on Rose. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. You guys are phenomenal. And remember, keep on shooting, you guys.